You used to run 10 plus miles a day in your boots, but now 2 mile jog leaves your knees barking and aching and in pain. Your body shot up for days. What gives? Well, I'll tell you right now, it might be these easier recovery runs that are wrecking your recovery. So I'm Dr. Ray Peralta, physical therapist, exercise physiologist, run coach, and marine vet. Over the last 10 years, I've helped hundreds of people bounce back from injuries and train smarter, especially veterans 35 and up who want to get strong, fast, and pain-free without trashing their body. So in today's video, I'm going to break down why I personally don't recommend recovery runs, why you should actually skip recovery runs, and why I coach veterans uh, to do the same. If you're tired of feeling beat up, sluggish, or like you're just spinning your wheels with running, this video is going to help you train smarter, recover better, and finally feel strong and fast again. You're going to learn why most runs aren't actually, these recovery runs aren't actually helping you recover. The 3 reasons I skip them and what to do instead, and the simple weekly training structure I use with vets to get them fit, fast, and injury free. And then I'll share a free resource to help you build a running plan that works for your current body and lifestyle. So some coaches define a recovery run like this: a zone one, right? A very easy run, essentially a jog, done the day after a hard workout, supposed to help you recover while still getting more mileage, more time on your feet with running. Sounds great in theory, but here's the truth. If you're 35 or older, recovery runs are just doing the opposite of what they promise. And here's why. So, reason number one: recovery runs don't actually help you recover from running. See, most people don't really run slow enough on recovery runs to truly recover, right? They're doing the recovery runs, they're just running. Yeah, they're not running as fast as they normally run, but it's still too much impact or volume on their body to actually, recover from. So they're not having a true recovery day. So instead of aiding recovery, they're just piling more and more fatigue on their body. And add to that, many training plans for running that have you run like 5 or 6 days per week. If you're training for like a marathon, they may have you try to run 30 to 40 miles per week for beginners, or like if you're more intermediate, 60 miles per week or more. They often, and then many people try to, do strength training, which I do recommend, but they tend to do high volume strength training workouts, then add that with a high volume or frequency of running, like 6 days a week of lifting, 6 days a week per running. And then that's really going to add up. The body's not really going to fully recover from it, even if you think you're doing easy runs or recovery runs, right? And then obviously they have life, stress, family, job, all these other things are stressors on the body. So exercise is a good stress, but too much exercise can still lead to overtraining, over fatigue. And if your body's not recovering, it's breaking down. So running is high impact, right? Every step sends about 2 to 3 times impact forces through your body weight through your joints. So for a 150-pound runner, every time that foot hits the ground, that's anywhere from 300 to 450 pounds of impact forces per step. Now imagine doing that on tired legs, right? Day after day after a long run, day after a speed workout. Right? No wonder you feel like you got braked in your pants, like someone hit your leg with a baseball bat, because you're just doing way too much and not properly recovering, thinking you're doing recovery runs when you're just doing more running, getting your legs more tired. So better recovery leads to better performance. So reason number two, if when you actually take true recovery days from running, you tend to have better performance. Now I know what you're thinking about. Hey, there are people who are able to train 5 or 6 days per week of just running. For sure. Yes, they're outliers. They're elite runners who've built up over years of training so their body can tolerate high volume or high frequency of running. But for the average person, someone's just everyday person trying to get back into shape or just likes to do running for fitness, I still don't think doing 5 or 6 days a week of running is beneficial. Now, if you really love it and you just want to do it because it's your favorite thing, you don't get injured, you recover pretty quickly, sure, maybe you've been running for years since you were 6 years old. But if you're an everyday person who just kind of picked up running again after years off from either from military service, or maybe you ran back in school, but now you took a big break off and coming back to it, I still think having less days of running is beneficial. So many veterans I coach feel way stronger when we cut back the running days and give them true recovery days from running. Why? Because training isn't just about the training stimulus, like the mileage. It's about adapting to the stimulus, right? Recovery days let your body bounce back. So when it's time to run hard again, you could truly run hard. So I noticed this myself when I was doing like these 6 days a week running. Sure, I could do the speed workouts, but I wasn't able to get the speed workout as hard as I could do the speed workouts because I was doing so many easier recovery duns in between that my legs were not fully recovered to do a proper tempo run or speed workout. So when it's time to run hard again, you're not truly running hard. But when you do have recovery days built in, you've actually got something left in the tank, more energy in the tank to actually go hard on hard, speed workouts. So think of energy as like a bank account. If you blow your whole week's like training energy just through recovery runs, logging junk miles, you won't have anything left for quality running workouts, right? Like if you're trying to do a quality tempo run or a quality speed workout, or even a long run may be impaired just because you're doing way too many junk miles with recovery runs, right? So and or your strength training, you're trying to say you're also trying to build strength. Now you're overly fatigued because you did all these junk miles and you don't have enough energy to properly do your strength work because you're just too tired because you didn't have any proper recovery days or rest days. So sometimes less is more. Having true recovery days can help you feel refreshed and recovered for your actual running days if it's focused, right? You have to have like a good plan in place, right? If you just also do a very high volume strength work and you're not recovered, that's also another problem as well. Don't go like a beast mode with the strength workout and then take away energy from your ability to recover from running workouts. So it goes both ways. Reason number 3, rest prevents burnout. See, running is a stressor. Even if it feels good mentally, it still raises the stress hormone cortisol. If you're chronically overtrained, that can lead to sleep problems, mood swings, slow recovery. And this is also how people can stay skinny fat. So even though they run, sometimes they may even train for marathons, they can still stay skinny fat because they have the stress hormone cortisol raised in their body. They're not properly recovering. They still retain abdominal fat. So even though they may have skinny arms and skinny legs, the fat is being just contained in their abdominal region just because they're not allowing their body's nervous system and hormones just to recover. So there's different types of recovery. So if you keep training every single day of the week and not getting yourself true recovery, let's say from running, for example, in this case, you're going to obviously have slow recovery, lead to potential injury, increased injury risk, or even just fatigue and like central nervous system overtraining. This is called overtraining syndrome, where you're just completely fatigued. You could barely do fast workouts anymore or speed workouts because you're just so tired. Your legs feel like bricks, super heavy. Things feel sluggish. And oftentimes the solution is just need more rest days, more recovery. And if you're truly in overtraining state, you may actually have to take a whole week off to like reset and then come back to training. And let's be honest, if you run every single day and it just feels like a chore, like you're slugging, running on fumes, it's going to kill your motivation, right? That's going to lead to burnout. Maybe you don't even run altogether. I oftentimes encounter people like they want to give up on running because they just feel burnt out from the sport of running. But by having proper rest days, rest brings back balance. So you shouldn't have to be dreading your next run, like, oh my God, I have to run again, because you're not running every single day of the week. You should feel excited and ready for your run workout. Say, hey, it's fun, you're gonna get it done. And have a smart training plan around that. So what do I do instead, and what I recommend for the athletes I coach? So what I personally use, and for the most of the veteran military vets or ex-athletes that I coach, are 3 days per week of running. So 1 day and quality run workouts, right? So one track day or speed work, for example, 6 by 400 meter repeats or 4 by 1 kilometer repeats. They're different, speed workouts depending on the distance you want to train for. Shorter, longer, etc. But you get the idea. You go to a track, do track workouts. You could also do it on a road or a treadmill. Another type of workout I like is the tempo workout, but at the lactate threshold, right? To improve your ability to process lactate, build up your speed endurance, how you could run faster for longer. So there's about 30 minutes near your lactate threshold. If you're not sure what that is, I made other videos on that, on how to find your lactate threshold, doing time trials. But there's another great workout to have is one of your 3 quality run workouts. And the third quality run workout like is a long run. Make sure, hey, at least 1 day of the week, you're really building on the aerobic engine. This is where you could just improve your aerobic fitness. I know some people try to argue, oh, you need more easier recovery runs to build up your aerobic fitness. You can also just build up your aerobic fitness by going on a long run without having to run 6 days a week, right? So you could go on a long run, maybe a 6-mile long run, still build up your aerobic fitness. And then continue to build your aerobic fitness with cross training. You don't have to run every single day of the week. You could cross train to build up your aerobic fitness through walking. One of the classic cross training activities for runners is just to walk, right? You could brisk walk 30 to 45 minutes of brisk kind of race walking. You could build up your aerobic fitness. And I guess good news is walking is low impact. So walking could actually be a low impact activity. You could allow your body to, you could use it on a active recovery day from running, right? So I still recommend a complete rest day from all activity, right? But if you're going to want to cross train, So let's say 2 days of the week, you'll cross train. So unless you have 5 day training schedule, 3 days are running, 2 days are cross training. Maybe one of those cross training days, you just go for a speed walk, a brisk walk. Maybe another day you do biking for 30, 45 minutes, or maybe you do elliptical or even rucking. You put on a rucksack, you kind of ruck or hike, or go for a swim or a rowing machine. So there's different cross training options. But the point I'm getting at is you could build up your aerobic fitness just doing cross training. And then obviously to be better at running, you'll have your 3 run workouts per week. And then obviously you'll also want to do 2 days of strength training per week. I recommend just doing a single set full body routine, 8 to 12 rep max range, right? Things like squats, deadlifts, lunges, calf raises, push-ups, pull-ups, bench press, etc. Full body routine, core work is course, and training any lagging areas that you have or weak areas to build it up. And that way you'll be more well-rounded. You'll have energy for your run workouts because, again, the other problem people fall into is they do really high volume strength work. They get overzealous, like, I need to do 6 days per week of strength training like a bodybuilder, then also lead to like being just tired all the time and not having enough energy to do their cardio, to go for their runs. So there should be a balance of both your strength work and your cardio or your running training, so you're not overtrained in either direction. So when I trained for my first marathon, I followed one of these 6 days per week training plans. They go run, run, run. And yeah, they had speed workouts, they had long runs, they had tempo runs, but then they had these easier recovery runs. Like, oh, we got recovery runs. But I was truly not getting not much rest. Sure, I had one day of the week where I had, I think it was like a Sunday, but still, after the long runs, I still felt like I'd been hit by a truck because I had so many days of frequent running throughout the week. I just felt sluggish for days after. Once I cut down to just 3 focus runs a week and added real rest from running, I recovered better and actually started to run stronger, less overuse injuries like the runner's knee pain, hip pain, and most importantly, I didn't feel like I was running on fumes every day. I didn't feel like my legs got hit by a baseball bat. So, for injury-free running, you just want to run, even if it's just for general fitness. You need obviously the optimal stimulus, right? You need to add some running workouts if you want to get better at running, then plus proper recovery. And the good news is this also applies to other types of things. Maybe you just want to bike or you swim. You just need to add enough aerobic fitness activities and you can improve your general fitness and then compare that with strength training and you could be an injury-free athlete. Or if you're into running, injury-free running. So if you're 35 years old plus, veteran or not, and you don't need to do more junk miles or recovery runs, you just need smarter programming, true rest days, solid strength work, and get enough sleep, right? Sleep at least 7 hours a night. And if you're tired of guessing your way through training and you want to run pain-free while getting back in shape, check out my free training linked in the description below. I'll show you how to train smarter, avoid injury, and rebuild your edge, even if it's been years since you felt like yourself.